So when people are looking, they're also looking for what are the certification standards. So there's no single certification standard as of now. And in all sustainability, there are more than 200 potential certifications. Walmart is dealing with this right now, and how do they apply which certifications to which of their 60,000 suppliers? Or should they use a certification? Should they use a different method? And so it could be anywhere from, in the European Union, an eco-label around fair trade, which is not yet mandatory, to people like Bill McDonough licensing the cradle-to-cradle approach. So with, if anybody attended Slow Food in San Francisco a couple weeks ago, that slow food movement is also emerging into the fashion world called slow fashion. And it emphasized lasting design and craftsmanship and buying fewer clothes with a longer life and not trying to invalidate your wardrobe, but to build on your wardrobe. There still is a limited supply. What are the challenges? There still is a limited supply of organic cotton, and it's still a very small portion. Part of the reason for that is it takes up to 3 years to get certified as organic. So as we'll learn later, Walmart is actually placing purchase agreements with suppliers who are in the process of becoming certified to give them comfort and reduce risk about their purchases. And of course, the need to continually educate the consumers without too many standards. What are the opportunities? We'll learn about some of that tonight, so I'll skip over that because there's a lot of great providers of sustainable apparel. I'll give you one quick word of caution on... Sorry about that. Give you one quick word of caution on sustainable apparel companies that have hit some speed bumps. Now, NAU, which you might have heard of, recently filed for bankruptcy earlier this year. Multiple reasons why that might have happened. They were trying to essentially blend an online channel with an in-store channel and drop the cost of inventory, drop the cost of delivery, be able to deliver it to your house that's customized, your order customized to you, but they spent a little too much too fast, and they were not able to continue to attract the money. So as every entrepreneur knows, you need to watch your burn rate, even if you have a great idea. And so there's more discussion about this online. I checked now today just to see what they're up to. They're looking to relaunch as an online website and to license some of their designs, but sort of lesson for the wise. We talked about this in terms of Walmart. One other thing to point out with Walmart, in addition to them looking at textiles early in their supplier network, is that they're looking to build out green products all year round. So Walmart actually sold out of its green products in the month of April before the end of the month because there was such tremendous consumer demand. And more recently, they've launched a line of jewelry, which we'll put under the umbrella of sustainable wardrobe, where you can track the path of the gold and the process of creating that piece of jewelry. And so there's a barcode and a individual product code where you can go to a website, see where it comes from the mine, potentially in Utah, goes down to Peru to get processed, comes back to the Walmart store that you bought it at. Very cool. So good blend of technology. Okay, so how do you tell whether something's for real? So not sure if you can see this all the way in the back, but anybody know what this is a label from? Timberland. And so Patrick, why put a label on a Timberland piece of clothing? Or a boot?
Well, I think they're trying to appeal to the values-oriented consumer.
Okay.
And they want to demonstrate that their products have those values.
Great. And so what they've done also is quantify this. So the energy to produce this pair of boots is 3 kilowatt hours, and the renewable energy content is 5%, which is now going up. And the element of child labor is 0%, and it tells you where it's produced. So this type of transparency is the proof that customers are going to be looking for, because as Armand will tell you, you can't just claim that it's going to be green or sustainable. You actually have to prove that it'll be green or sustainable, especially if you sell in states like California. All right, so just a quick overview of Timberland. Their sustainability vision encompasses 4 pillars: to become carbon neutral by 2010, so not to use fossil production and to have a carbon neutral supply chain, to design and therefore produce recyclable product, so it's easy to close the loop on cradle to cradle, to have a fair, safe, and non-discriminatory workplace in all of their locations, and then they've added service into that as well in terms of communities in the campaign. And so from a stakeholder process, they've built this 360-degree stakeholder engagement. And what that also means is that they're taking that stakeholder engagement and they're actually partnering with competitors like Nike and others in, say, leather tanning industry to improve the sustainability up the chain of the leather that they buy. Nike and Timberland are 2 of the biggest buyers of leather for shoes. So that's my 2-minute warning here. When you go to either the Timberland site or the justmeans.com site, Just Means is a stakeholder engagement site that you may want to consider to look at as an investor or as an entrepreneur. Timberland is starting to put out its average green index scores for the ones that they label. The energy used per pair of shoes, so this one's a little less energy intensive. The number of pairs that they produce with water-based adhesives, and the total cotton purchases that are organic. So these are additional metrics that you can start to show to customers how committed you are when you can talk about your products and supply chain. And then you can go even deeper into renewable energy. For Timberland, they've shifted from wind to some solar, but mostly to some renewables off the grid that they're buying from the electricity grid. So just quickly, what's the performance? So this is Timberland was publicly back in 1991. As you can see, up and down, up and down. They've had a little bit of a peel off the past few years. For the year, though, they are up, and they're up relative to Skechers, Wolverine. Actually, Wolverine's a little bit higher, and Deckers is down 29%. So that's in their smaller peer group. And versus Nike had a little bit better performance in the early of the year, started to peel off, and Timberland had some recent quarterly numbers that were attractive. So as you think about your portfolio, you can think about it from the producer or the retailer end. We'll hear from a variety of private companies this evening. But on the public side, companies you might want to investigate are Nike and Timberland, which are addressing their supply chain in a very transparent way. Retailers like Walmart and Target and Gap are stocking the shelves with those types of products. And that's the quick, hip overview. So what we'll do now is give you a chance to ask a question or two if you like. Otherwise, Scott from Indigenous Designs will kick us off. Yep.